Steve from Custom Table Tennis, and what we're going to do, we're going to give you an updated list. We wasn't going to bother, but people have been asking if we could put these in some kind of order. Before we start, we'll just bring in, because people say, well, where do these figure? Well, if we were doing a 6, 7 and 8, that's probably where they'd be, but we need more information on these particular rubbers before we include them on this list, and in fact they're not in our top 5 at the moment. We've got separate reviews on these, just in case you think, well, why have you not got the hybrids? Because this is our top 5. So what we'll have a look at first before we start on there is the new chart. I'll come back to this later on. So this is not cancelling out, it's not superseding this chart. This still applies to all the Vega rubbers, but now people are saying, well, what about, where does these rubbers fit in? So we've, based on lots of tests and sponsored and county players, we've got to come up with a new chart. In fact, we're there with the chart anyway, so I kind of, if you're here already, you've kind of given the game away, but that's the chart. So as you can see, we've put this chart in order of speed, not in order of sales. So the Europe DF has still got the highest degree of control, but what players are telling us is that from the career onwards, there's no significant drip in control. If you can play table tennis and you've got good technique, you're not going to be struggling down here, and you can always choose the appropriate blade for one of these types of rubbers. So this is our updated, and it's also when we do trade stands and we've got people bobbing around and it's always the same questions. So we thought we'd do an update. We didn't want to leave it well December, but if it changes radically, we'll do another one. So that's the chart out of the way then. So if you have a look at our number 5, this has been around for a long time. So it's the Vega Elite. It's a lifetime plus rubber. It's a very durable rubber, and it's on a 40-degree sponge. I'll put so you can see the back there if you want to read the information. Very popular rubber. As you can see, it's got a lot of tensor effect going on in there. I'll show you the other side of it. So really good rubber, and this is our number 5. Lots and lots of players are using these, and they tend to stick with it or come back and get more of it if they like it. So it's a medium. As you can see, you've got your information on there as well. What big window means and why it's so popular is that you can start the ball higher, and if you get the right amount of spin, so it's an up and over rubber, so it's got quite a decent high throw, so you can start it higher over the net for your margin for error, and it comes down on the table, as you can see from all that information. Very popular rubber. Number 4, it's always going to be there. I mean, players like this one. This was the first rubber from Xiom, which was one of the first ones for plastic ball ready. What that means is the rubber has been developed for the new plastic ball. In fact, all these rubbers that I'm going to show you now, they're all plastic ball ready. It's just that they don't go on about it anymore. This has been out for probably, 6, 7, 8 years or something like that. All your information there. Nice control. Now the thing about these first 2 rubbers, I should have mentioned with the other one, black, you just got your black cardboard sponge on there. But what I should have mentioned is if you want to keep the weight of your bat down, this is where you want to be. These 2 rubbers, this sold thousands of these. They're durable, and even when they come back, our local coaches who buy from us benefit from them for coaching. They're good enough after 6 months a year for coaching. It's got all your technology in there, made in Germany. They're all made in Germany. So that's that one then. And one of the reasons why we thought we'd better do this video is because Korea's pushed its way into the chart. So we've got 40 degree on the Elite, 37.5, and it's a bit of a jump, this one. This is a 45 degree. It's medium hard, so you are starting to get a little bit heavier. But if you want a blue rubber, this is where you're going to be. It's got all the I've done separate reviews on these. I don't want to go into all the details. It's got this new sponge, this new top sheet. It's a very thin top sheet, which gives it more elasticity and grip. A lot of our county players are shifted over to this one, and as you can see, it's got the black cardboard sponge, but it's a different configuration to the Europe. As I say, it's 45. They only make it in maximum thickness, but I wouldn't worry too much about that if you're used to 2mm. The reason why they don't make 2 is because they're top testing. The top players who tested these are likely to be the top players in Korea and Germany as well, found that it didn't work particularly well on a 2mm sponge. So this is the Korea, it's the blue one. If you want blue, it's this one. So then moving along then, so we actually drop down, it goes up in a series of rubbers with the Omega 7 Euro. This is our number 2. It was number 2 last time. There's no sign of it coming off the list. The most popular combination that we do, this is a really good backhand rubber. So players, you need to be sort of just slightly past intermediate, but you can use it on a controlled blade. I'll show you the back of the packet. There you got all your information going on there. Another one, you've got all this stuff on here. We like this rubber. It's a really nice rubber. I'll bring it out of the packet. And the beauty of this is it's back to a lightweight again. So think of the Elite, the Europe DF, around about the 58 to 60 grams. This one's jumping up to about 67. This you're back down to 60 grams again. So I've got a friend and a coach, and I've played with him for years in the Yorkshire Veterans. This is his go-to rubber, and even for coaching as well. Really nice high-end rubber. Let's have a look at it. So you've got a nice tight cardboard sponge on there. As I say, it's 42.5. Look at the top sheet. You've got all that information there. It's telling you that it's polyball ready. It was made specifically for the polyball. When you think of the only other manufacturers, they're still making rubbers with no regard for the new ball that doesn't spin as much. So if you're buying something from yesteryear, it's old technology, and it's not going to work as well with the new ball. So that's that one. And then finally, and last but not least, it's still there because it's our go-to rubber with county sponsored players and also intermediate players. If you put this on a slowish blade, I've got a 52.5 there to show you as well, but the majority of the players are using the 47.5. Out of 10 rubbers, we probably sell 9 of these and a 52.5. So this particular rubber, a nice fancy packet there, and I've got this one out because I'm going to show you the colour in a minute. So if you have a look at all the information on there, it's what we do like about this one, and I think moving forward this is the way they're going to go. Put the density on the packet and on the rubber. So the manufacturers, when people say, oh, I want an Xiom rubber, but I've got this, that and the other, we have to go searching on the internet to find out what density that rubber that they've got, because it's all about the hardness. Yes, you want the grip, but let's have a look. So this one, it's available in they call it magenta. That's debatable. I'd say that looks like pink. But there you go. If you want a pink rubber, this is where you're going to be. Very, very popular actually. Very grippy. This is probably 8 out of our 10 sponsored players have got this on one side, if not both. And some of them are putting this on one side, usually the forehand, and then either the Korea on the backhand or the Europe. So it's also available, obviously. So that's the 47.5. We'll bring the other one out. The 52.5. It's the packets. The back of the packet's just the same. It just tells you here. Tells you what you got on your packet. There you go. And then this one, it's a little bit harder, a little bit heavier. Still playable if you're good enough. And that's on the 52.5, as you can see, the two colours together. So what we've done, we've got 3 trade stands coming up. So what we've actually done is done another list, because to be fair, I mean, we take a whole bunch of rubbers with us. We take probably far more than we need to. but 99% of the players, and what I've just done on there, are on this list. And all the demo bats that we take, they'll have these on, and then we've got some demo bats with hybrids on. And we've made this chart because people, when they bob around, oh, I'm showing them this chart here, which is our original chart, but just covers the Vega rubbers. Because Vega rubbers, we don't stock them all. I think there's about 14 or 15 different Vegas, but at the end of the day, you only really need 5. Because there's no difference in the densities or the hardness. There is a Chinese one that fits in here, but essentially even the top players can't really tell them apart, so we just concentrate on these 5. But moving forward then, and as you can see, Vega Europe DF, most control, elite dipping control, bit quicker, and then you're onto the Korea, and then you're onto the top rubbers. And incidentally, these are all very, very durable. As I say, when they come back, the coaches benefit from getting them, use them for coaching bats. If they buy a blade and they've got an half decent bat to go with. But played somebody last night, you with Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, he battered me. I picked up a couple, but he battered me with the Jekyll and Hyde. So much speed and spin coming at me, I couldn't do anything with him. But there you go. So we thought we'd update this one. People have been asking, and this, if you can request one of these with your order if you like. Although most people will just take a screenshot of that and save it on the phone, and then they know what they're doing. And this is for our agents' benefit as well. So there's absolutely nothing somebody who's intermediate with your black all round or your classic up there, or even your carbon, because you're talking about control. So you can down here, and then with your Euros you can come in with your faster stuff. But if you're wanting to use the Jekyll and Hyde, which, well, it's our bestseller, isn't it? And you get a blade with control if you're intermediate, and then learn how to play with it, and don't keep swapping and changing rubbers until you need to. You're not going to change. If you change a brand, if you go for a Stiga or whatever, Jeweler, T-Bar, and it's just all going to be very similar. And my best advice is, if you're struggling, get yourself a coach. And if you're local, I can put you in touch with any coach. So, little update. Steve from Custom Table Tennis. Hit the like and subscribe and get your stuff from customtabletennis.co.uk. Bye for now.